All right, fellas. All right. Well, if you've been staying tuned in to this channel for quite some time now, you already know that we are big into like TVs, gaming, and the just technology in general. We've been big into that stuff. Like, we've been big into gaming, TVs, and just tech in general. Well, that is still going to be the case, but plans might be changing in the near future. Like, we're talking about, we're probably not going to hardly buy very many new televisions to try out. Probably very much long. I'd say probably somewhere around maybe another year or two that we're probably going to do this. But when it comes to like further out, I honestly think that like we're just going to get to the point where we've done it. Like, we've done it all. Like essentially, like, for right now, since TVs are our number one like main thing at the moment, we actually already know like how each individual panel type television performs, whether it be a direct lit or an edge lit or a full array local dimming LED or a full array mini LED or even the newer micro LEDs, I should say. I don't know why I messed up there, but even the new micro LEDs, then OLEDs, which traditional OLEDs from LG and Sony, which are WOLED panels, and then the last major top of the line new TV type that just came out in 2022 last year, QD-OLEDs. So we know like how all of those types of TVs perform. Like, we know like how they look good. We know how, the LEDs are and how the OLEDs have pixels that can individually turn themselves off and then turn themselves on when needed. We know that mini LED is supposed to be almost close to OLED levels of the TVs themselves, but yet have an advantage of higher peak brightness. So, like, we know everything about those. So, whether it be, like we mentioned, a direct lit, an edge lit, a full array local dimming, a mini LED, micro LED, or a traditional OLED, or better yet, QD OLEDs. So, we basically know how all those kinds of TVs work. And they all look great. And here, let's let's actually talk about from the start of what we originally started with. So, we originally started with CDs, like straight up, like back in 2008 all the way up to 2012. Music was our biggest thing. Music was our number one thing. And collecting CDs and being able to have, all of these great music and such on CDs to play, it was the best thing ever. But then once 2013 hit, then we stopped buying CDs. And technically, we haven't bought basically a CD since, except maybe a select couple or a select few over the last several years. But 2012 was like our last year that we bought like our last major like CD that we wanted. So then 2013 comes around and we're actually in 10th grade and we get an Xbox 360 for Christmas, and then we start collecting games instead of CDs. And then we started collecting 360 games for basically quite a few years. Then in 2016, we got our hands on our first PlayStation 3 on top of having an Xbox One in 2015. Then later 2016, we managed to get a PS4. So we started to buy games literally for basically all four platforms for basically all the way up to like 2018, I should say. And then we started collecting throughout the years of 2016 and 2017 PlayStation 3 and as well as PlayStation 4 games. And then early 2018 starts, and we basically are done buying PlayStation 3 games at that point because we have a huge catalog of hard copies in our shelf. We have a good select amount of copies of PlayStation 3 games. And then now we managed to switch over from physical to mostly digital. Now, there is a case, like a tiny percent here and there, that we do get like one or possibly two discs every now and again. But like when it comes to buying majority of 90% of new games, we don't buy physical no more. We just buy digital. And digital just seems to work the best in the long run when you really think about it. Because then if the house catches on fire or, somebody breaks in and steals all that stuff, you have security with your basically accounts. So you can literally just buy a new console and then boom, you got all your games right there. So even not buying physical is also another thing. So then from 2018 all the way to 2021, then we started buying collectible special limited edition consoles, whether if we find one used at GameStop, at a pawn shop, or a used one from a close family friend or somebody around us. We started buying hard or special limited edition consoles. Like we got a select few I'm going to name off. We got the Spider-Man limited edition PS4 Pro. We got the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 limited edition Xbox 360. We also got the very extremely rare 500 million PlayStation 4 Pro. And then we also got some other consoles like the gold PlayStation 4 Slim, and as well as a Gears of War 3 Xbox 360 and Destiny PlayStation 4. And that's just a select few to name off. We basically got several others. So then our last special limited edition console that we bought was indeed the Call of Duty World War II limited edition Slim PS4, and that was back in October of 2021. And that right there was our last special limited edition console pretty much since then. And right now it is July 2023. So now here is where it comes, like we talked about, already knowing about the different types of TVs and the TV panels and whatnot. So now 2020 comes around. That is when we started getting into TVs. And now, here in just probably another year or so, then we're going to fall off from buying those. Because we just know how they all work and they just look great. And we keep getting all kinds of beautiful looking ones that have great picture quality no matter what brand it is, no matter if it's a $1,000 65-inch TV or if it's a $2,000 65-inch TV, whether it be an OLED or a edgelit, they just all look incredibly good. Now, the OLEDs and the higher up LCDs still look slightly better when it comes to like contrast and colors, but then when you literally are like somebody that just loves to play games, I mean, as long as the clarity's there and the colors are still decent and the contrast is decent, I mean, it won't matter because even a $1,000 TV, like say like a Samsung Q80 series, or basically what we're going to be getting, the Hisense U8K or even the Hisense U8H, they're just fabulous TVs. And even when you compare them to an OLED, especially the Hisense U8H, if you compare that to an OLED, you're basically, you can't even basically tell the difference between an OLED and the Hisense U8H unless you start looking off like center at the Hisense. Then you will start seeing blooming around bright objects. But when you're literally dead center into the TV, it just looks like an OLED no matter what. But what makes it even better is the higher peak brightness. So yeah, so we originally started buying CDs, then it switched to video games, then it switched to limited edition, special edition game consoles, then it switched to televisions. And now, in the next couple of years, things might actually be changing in the near future. and we may not be buying as many TVs as we used to be. Like, we only might be buying, probably, if anything, probably 1 to 2 a year, if I were to say anything, just because of, we've already now experienced all of them, and we already know how they all work and how all the different types of panels work, and that just means that we're going to have to find something new to get into for a little while. But yeah, things actually might be changing relatively soon in the next year or two. So, like we mentioned, CDs, then video games, then special limited edition collectible consoles, then televisions. Those have been our things for basically our whole life. And now, eventually, TVs are going to start we're going to start getting burnt out on the televisions and such. And we're going to want something new. So yeah, things might actually be changing relatively in the near future. I don't know when exactly yet, but things could possibly change, especially with the YouTube channel and with us in the near future. And especially, like, possibly not buying as many TVs no more, like just accepting with the ones that we currently have at the time. But we still, right now, have plans to get those 3 ones that we talked about on our previous video, the Sony X90L and the TCL QM8. I don't know why TCL switched their name, but TCL used to have the 6 series as their top tier TV, but now they split that into a Q6, Q7, and Q8, but technically this one is basically an MQ8, or a QM8, I should say, and then we're going to have the Hisense U8K also on our list, and those are going to be 3 on our list for at least from anywhere between now to early 2024. So yeah, I just figured I'd make this a very, very quick video that some things might actually be changing with us and with our YouTube channel in the near future, and just because of, like, we've done it. We know everything, how everything works. Like, we know, like, how the CDs work and all the greats of music we have. We got huge catalog of video games that we've collected physically, and now we only get the new ones as each year goes on, which is only like a select few or a select several every single year. And then the consoles now, we've officially no longer bought a special limited edition console for almost 2 years now, and then now, eventually, relatively soon, in the near future, within a year or two, then TVs are going to also no longer be one of our things that we're going to be into, because of just being into it for so long and already learning about them. So yeah, things might actually be changing with us in the near future, but that's just why I wanted to make this a quick video and to give you guys a heads up. But hope you all enjoyed this video. If you guys could, please smack that like button, and also be sure to hit that subscribe button if you are new to this channel, and be sure to leave us your thoughts down in the comments section down below of things possibly changing with us in the near future and like the next year or two. So yeah, just leave us your thoughts down in the comment section down below, and also hit that like button, subscribe, and this is Tech and Gaming Reviews, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.